Imagine this for a moment. Every living person in the world, billions of us, all falling into deep sleep at the exact same time. Not just dozing off, not half awake with one eye on the phone. I mean deep, heavy, dreamless sleep. No one awake, no eyes open, no thoughts racing, no dreams being dreamed. Just silence, just absence. Now here's the question. In that moment, is the world still there? Are the oceans still crashing on their shores if no one hears them? Are the stars still shining in the night sky if no one sees them? Is the wind still moving through the trees? Or does the whole play shut down when perception shuts down? We assume the world continues. Of course, we say. The stars don't need our eyes to shine. The ocean doesn't need our ears to roar. But then again, how do we know? The only proof we ever have of the world is perception. The eyes that take in color, the ears that take in sound, the skin that takes in touch. Without them, what is left? It's a strange thought, isn't it? Because the world we know only arrives through the narrow keyhole of our senses. Without those senses, does it vanish? Or is there something deeper holding it all? Let's start simple. Our eyes. They only see between 380 and 740 nanometers of light. That's all. A thin slice of the infinite electromagnetic spectrum. Ultraviolet exists, but we don't see it. Infrared glows around us, but invisible to our naked sight. X-rays pass through our bodies like ghosts. Gamma rays hum silently in the cosmos, yet we remain blind to them. Think about that. Most of the light in the universe is invisible to you. Yet you walk around believing you see reality. Our ears? Same thing. They pick up from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. That's it. Anything below is infrasound. Anything above is ultrasound. Whales sing to each other across oceans at frequencies you'll never hear. Bats navigate the night with screams that are silent to you. Whole symphonies of sound are happening right now, but your ears simply don't catch them. Our senses are narrow filters, and yet we take this little slice they show us and we call it the world. But here's the paradox. If perception is a filter, it is also a veil. The Sufi master Ibn Arabi said that creation itself is tajalli, a self-disclosure of Allah. But that disclosure never arrives to you raw. It always comes veiled, filtered, shaped by your vessel. You never see reality as it is. You see it as you are. A child, a scientist, a mystic, and a bird can all look at the same flower and live in entirely different worlds. A bee sees ultraviolet patterns on the petals, a map pointing it to nectar. A bat flying by wouldn't see it at all, but hear its presence through the way air moves. You see color and shape, filtered through the limits of your retina. A mystic may see signs of the divine hidden within it. So which one is real? Maybe none of them. Maybe all of them. Each is just a translation of something beyond translation. Here's where it gets even more mysterious. Perception takes infinity and makes it look like space. Thought takes eternity and makes it feel like time. Infinity itself is formless, boundless. No walls, no edges, no distances. But when it passes through the lens of perception, it appears as space. Up, down, left, right, near, far, big, small. You think you're seeing reality, but you're seeing infinity through a narrow window, compressed into geometry your mind can handle. Eternity has no before and after. It just is. But when eternity passes through the lens of thought, it feels like time. 1 second, then the next. Past behind you, future ahead of you. But maybe time is not ticking out there in the cosmos. Maybe it's ticking only in your head. Ibn Arabi said that God's eternal knowledge does not unfold in sequence. It is all known at once, beyond before and after. But when that knowledge discloses itself to creation, it comes in waves like frames of a film. We see it as time. But to God, it is all already. The Quran says, "Every day he is upon a task." 55:29. The Arabic word used, shan, hints at continual renewal. Not a past, present, and future, but a constant, ever-new unfolding. From our perspective, it feels like time. From God's perspective, it is one eternal act. That's why sometimes you wake from a dream, and 8 hours feel like minutes. That's why sometimes one moment in prayer feels like eternity. Time is elastic because time is not ultimate. It is the mind's way of digesting eternity. Now let's wander into sleep. Because sleep exposes the tricks of perception and thought better than anything. When you are awake, 2 filters are active: perception and thought. Eyes open, ears open, senses alive. Mind racing, analyzing, labeling. Together, these weave the world you call reality, but then comes sleep. First, the dream. In dreams, perception shuts down, eyes closed, ears turned inward, but thought remains. Imagination creates a world inside your mind, a world that feels real while you're in it. You're walking, talking, flying, falling. You wake up and say, "It was just a dream." But when you were inside it, it wasn't just anything. It was reality. Then comes deep sleep, deeper than dreams. Here, perception is gone. Thought is gone. No images, no stories, no time. You close your eyes at 10 p.m., open them at 6 a.m., and 8 hours are gone. Where did they go? They vanished because time itself was not being generated. Thought was silent, yet something remained. Because when you wake, you say, "I slept well." Who is that I? The mind was not there to register it, but awareness was. Not the absence of awareness, but the awareness of absence. Ibn Arabi hinted that in deep sleep you are closest to your true self. No perceptions, no thoughts, no masks. Just the bare spirit, aware of its own stillness. The Quran gives a hint too. It is Allah who takes away the souls at the time of their death, and those that do not die, He takes during their sleep. Then He keeps those for whom He has decreed death and releases the others for an appointed term. 39:42. Sleep itself is described as a partial death, a rehearsal for the great unveiling. So now the question, which state is real? Is it the waking world, where senses weave the illusion of space and thought weaves the illusion of time? Is it the dream world, where perception drops away but thought still spins stories? Or is it deep sleep, where both vanish, leaving only pure awareness of nothing? Each one feels real while you're in it. The dream feels real when you dream it. The waking world feels real while you live it. Even deep sleep feels real in its own way, not through experience, but through the sense that something remained. So what is reality? Maybe it is not one state, but the awareness that underlies all states. Maybe reality is not the content of perception, but the presence in which perception appears and disappears. Now let's stretch this further. If our senses only give us a narrow slice, what about everything beyond them? Science tells us there are entire spectrums of energy we can't perceive. Ultraviolet, infrared, radio waves, gamma radiation. They existed long before humans discovered them. Our senses just weren't tuned to them. So what if there are other presences, jinn, angels, spirits, existing right now in spectrums of reality beyond our perception? The Quran tells us, those who believe in the unseen. 2:3. Ibn Arabi explained that the unseen is not some faraway place. It is not hidden behind the stars or buried in another universe. It is right here, interwoven with the visible world, veiled only by our incapacity to perceive it. Think about it. Jinn could be around you, not in some distant dimension, but moving in frequencies your eyes can't detect. Angels could be closer than your jugular vein, but outside your auditory range. Just because you can't perceive something doesn't mean it isn't real. Remember, ultraviolet was real before we had the tools to see it. So why not the unseen? Now circle back to that first thought experiment. Every human asleep at once. No perception, no thought, no witness. Does the world continue? Ibn Arabi would answer in paradox. The world is God's self-disclosure. It exists not because we see it, but because He shows it. If all of us vanish, the world remains in Him. If perception collapses, reality doesn't end. It only ends for us. But here's the twist. Perhaps the world does not exist independently at all. Perhaps it exists only as God's constant act of imagination. He imagines creation into being at every instant. We are part of that dream. And so maybe the real question is not whether the world exists without us, but who is dreaming the dream of the world in the first place. Perception, time, sleep, reality, they are all veils, filters, translations. The eyes slice infinity into a tiny window of space. The mind slices eternity into a narrow trickle of time. Dream and waking are two mirrors of the same imagination. Deep sleep is the pause where both vanish and awareness alone remains. Which one is real? Maybe none of them. Or maybe all of them. Maybe reality is not in the states themselves, but in the one who contains them all. Ibn Arabi said that the real, al-Haq, is the only true existence. Everything else is his appearance in forms, seen forms, unseen forms, waking forms, dreaming forms, silent forms of deep sleep. So perhaps the answer is simple. Reality is not what you perceive. Reality is the one who lets perception appear at all. And in the end, the real question isn't which one is real, but who is the real.